Welcome SRA Nation, welcome to Sim Racing Alliance GT3 Main Series Season 16.
It's gonna be a wonderful race here tonight. We got some great action here.
He's gonna look on the inside. He's gonna dive. There's a Mercedes. Oh no!
These two gyros side by side, it's not going to be, it's exactly what you want to see behind you. Spins his wheels, and that's going to be prime time attacking opportunity.
Oh, and he's gonna try to stick it inside.
Oh, no contact. Oh my god!
And we're off and away for SRA. Hello, SRA Nation. Welcome back. We are here for the last hurrah of Division 5 for Season 17. My name is Trey Morgan, your host, and I'm joined by the wonderful Kyle Boys. Kyle, how are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic, and I am ready to see the end of this season.
Yeah, this season's been a blast. We've had a whole bunch of races, mostly in Europe this season. So I don't know if they're trying to say anything about that. But anywho, it's been we've had a lot of fun races, a lot of tight races, and a lot of tight tracks. This track, though, is not very tight. This track is wide open for racing. We are at the Red Bull Ring. Kyle, I don't know how much driving you've done around Red Bull Ring, but I absolutely love it.
I did a couple hours, and I did the practice race, and I really like the track a lot.
Yeah, Red Bull Ring is one of my personal favorite tracks just because of how much fun it is to race around there. In a lot of other tracks, such as Kyalami or Indianapolis or some other tracks, normally there's a corner or two that directly end a battle. So like if you are racing side by side with someone, there's normally a corner where it all comes to a head and someone says, hey, I'm taking this spot, or we're both dying. And there's not really that many places here at Red Bull Ring like that. Technically, like turns 9 and 10 could probably be considered that because of how fast you have to take them. But even if that's the case, the straights coming up to turn 1 and turn 3 are so close together right behind that even if you do definitively take the spot into turn 9, they can be right behind you for turn 1 or turn 3 to fight it back. But we're going to go ahead and quickly go through the lap here. So main straight, kind of short, but it's close enough, or it's long enough that you can try and get some dive bombs into turn 1. But then the main overtaking zone, I feel, is into turn 3 up at the top of the hill. I forget how big of a hill it is. It's like 80 meters or something like that climb in between turn 1 and turn 3. It's massive, and we will watch it with absolute joy, hopefully, anyways. But turn 3, very hard braking zone up a hill, so you're braking a lot later than you think you would. And then you're going down into turn 4, which is what I call the third of the hairpins. They're technically not hairpins until you get to turn 4, but they kind of feel like it with how you have to take some of them. But I will point out that there is a turn 2, like in the middle of a long straight. So again, these tracks just don't know how to make corner numbers. I don't really get it. Anyway, after turn 4, we get into the technical section of the track. So turn 5, not really a corner, you're flat out through it. Turn 6 is a light braking zone. Turn 7 is a light braking zone. Turn 8, you're going flat out through. And so you can really get some good side-by-side action through the middle section here, which some people call the G, or the middle of the G. I personally don't, but I do understand why it looks like that. And then turns 9 and 10 are fast, sweeping right-handers going down a hill. And turn 10 is really hard to set up properly because if you go too wide in turn 9, you get a track cut. If you go too wide on the exit of turn 10, you get a track cut. If you go too close to the apex of turn 10, you will go flying, as you will if you hit the apex curve of turn 1. But there's not really many super hard corners here. Kyle, do you have a favorite corner, or a corner that you think that our drivers are going to have a lot of passing into, though?
My favorite corner is the last. I guess that's 10.
All right. Any explanation why, or just because it is?
There's just something about, like, when you nail that thing, you can go crazy outside. I mean, you can have like your whole car in the grass in that real deep. But I mean, the camber on that turn is wild. So if you manage to hit it even at a pretty extreme speed, it will just slingshot your car around and keep you on track, and you don't get a track cut. It's just really, really satisfying when you hit that right. Any of the other turns are kind of like Monza turns where it's like, okay, I know exactly how I'm supposed to do this. That doesn't mean I can do it every time. But that one is just really gratifying when you hit it correctly.
All right. So for some reason, I'm getting a massive frame drop right now. So if you'll give me a second to close a whole bunch of things, I think we're back now. Hopefully, people were able to hear your wonderful, you talking about how great turn 10 is. But even if they haven't, we will see it shortly. But yeah, my personal favorite turn is turn 4, just because of how interesting of a braking zone it is. But we will talk about that here later. First, we're going to go ahead and go through the driver standings for a little bit. So, technically, anyone within the top, I believe, 7 could win this. But realistically, it's only the top 4. So that's Joey Van Winkle, Alan Leung, Dick Zipperburn Sr., and Ian Gilchrist. If Joey Van Winkle finishes anywhere between 1st and 6th, he will automatically win the championship. If he finishes 7th or below, essentially whoever wins the race out of the gold drivers will win. So we'll have to see if anyone is able to, pounce on that opportunity if Joey Van Winkle doesn't get a good race going. As for the silver drivers, it is a 3-way battle between Quinn Jetter, Jason Yu, Denis Savard, and technically Alejandro Guarin, but he's a little bit too far away for me to consider him to be really in this championship fight. I think Quinn Jetter essentially just has to finish within the top 10, but even if he finishes like 15th, the Jason Yu or Denis Savard have to essentially win the race, and I don't know if either of them have the pace to do that. Now, hopefully I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. But Kyle, is there anyone out of our top 4 for gold or top 3 for silver, who do you think maybe has the best chance to come out on top here today?
Can you go back to the top?
Sorry.
Top 4 here. Zipperburn Sr. just has a really good he has really good pace here, but also he's very just consistent in placement, so I could see him really pulling one off here at the very end. That being said, Joey Van Winkle is like fairly good all the way around, so I kind of have it in my head that it's gonna be one of those two. I don't know why I feel like Zipperburn's gonna pull something out here. But like you said, Van Winkle would have to finish considerably far down the line, and I don't know that he's going to do that. So it might be locked in, but it would be exciting to see that.
Yeah, so that is our gold and silver standings. And then quickly, we're going to go ahead and look at our team standings. So top of the bell curve Racing is still in first place with 850 points. And then 617 Racing is in second place with Shane Sullivan and Joey Van Winkle. Now, unfortunately, Brad Morath has not been able to show up to the last 2 races due to, I don't know if it's work issues or what, but he's been unable to join the last few races. So the entire race essentially comes down, or the entire team championship essentially comes down to where does Shane Sullivan finish. If Zipperburn Sr. and Joey Van Winkle were both to disconnect or crash out or whatever, Shane Sullivan would have to finish at least, I believe it's 7th, in order to take the goal or the team championship away. Now, if Dick Zipperburn Sr. finishes ahead of Joey Van Winkle, Shane Sullivan has to do much better than that. So it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. But yeah, so at the moment, our silver drivers are just about ready to start their qualifying laps. So I believe we will go ahead and switch to that. All right, who is first out on track? Number 111. Daniel Builes, who has at least 3 or 4 people here in the chat cheering him on. So at least for the moment, I would say he is the crowd favorite. And I believe he has a new livery.
Yeah, he sure does.
Yeah, that is a... I believe that's a Galaxy livery, but I could be wrong. It looks super cool. So, I don't know if he found that livery or if he made it or if someone made it for him. I know that someone was talking about, with Ryan Garrity about making liveries. That might have been him. But that is awesome looking.
Yeah, that's sweet. Jetter was, I think his must be different too. He told everybody to update their liveries.
Yeah, I will... Where is Quinn? I know that I saw him. Quinn Jetter is back here. He is about... Yeah, he just went up to the top of the hill, and you can see he has a Red Bull livery. So very poignant for where we're racing today.
Yeah, that thing looks sweet.
Yeah, so lots of good liveries here to finish out the season. If it's not a good race, or if it's not a good thing to watch race-wise, it'll at least be a good thing to watch, you know, livery-wise, which, you know,
that's all we need, baby.
I mean, we prefer good racing, but I won't say no to this. So Daniel Builez going to provisional pole with a 129.3, which is insanely fast.
Builez is just trying to, he knows coming into this next season, they're just going to put him up in D3 or something.
D3, D2, it all depends on how much practice he does. We have other drivers coming across the line now. Denny Savard with a 130.6, Lanu Gray with a 130.6 or 131.1, Alejandro Guarin with a 130.4. He's done really good practice for this race. I think he's like third overall in the practice tables right now for D5. So he definitely has a chance to finish well here today. And you never know if he finishes P2 or P3 up there with Daniel Builez. I know I said that he really doesn't have a chance to win the silver championship, but if he finishes P2 or P3, he actually does have a chance. It just all depends on where Quinn Jetter finishes. Yeah, we got lots of cheering going on in the stands for Builez, so I will go ahead and give him some more watch time. In fact, we're going to go on board with him as he goes around this lap. Yeah, so that was turn 1. The inside of turn 1 is incredibly harrowing. It's got a giant sausage curb that I know that some drivers in some of the fun races of the weekend went over and they absolutely went flying. And then we're up into turn 3 at the top of the hill, braking a lot later than you might think based on the speed. Now we're going all the way down to turn 4. It's a whole bunch of straights essentially for Sector 1 and the start of Sector 2, but that's part of the reason why the racing is so much fun. Even if you get passed into one of the hard braking zones, you have at least one more chance to try and get back at them. Currently, Builez not improving, but you know, it might take a lap or two for him to get his tires up to temperature. Unfortunately, he just had an oversteer moment, but we're going to go and watch him as he finishes out the lap.
There is nobody on this lap that is looking to catch him quite yet.
Yeah, there's a few drivers improving. Notably, Lanu Gray is up by about 0.6 or so. So we will go watch them once we get done with this lap from Builez. He's not going to improve on this lap, but he will be setting up a very good lap if he's able to hold it together for the next one. He should be improving by about a 0.5 on this straight. I missed it, but Denny Savard going up to provisional P2 with a 130.2. Denny Savard has had an unfortunate couple races. He had an incident last week which really, you know, didn't help him. But if he's able to keep this pace today, he will definitely be fighting for that overall silver championship.
He got a 129.9, which I have to say is insane, and like big congrats to him. He put in a lot of work after the last couple races. Him and I did a bunch of hot laps around this thing, and I gave him I'm not even the fastest guy out here. I'm like a mid 130, but at the time he was running like 135s, and struggling to find pace, and I came out here with him and kind of got him up to my pace, and then he must have got in here with somebody for a couple hours this weekend, because he's blowing me out of the water right now. So big congrats. That's awesome. I like seeing that.
Yeah, I know that I hosted a few sessions over the weekend for some of the D5 drivers to help improve their lap times, and I would say that, you know, between the practice that he's done and the help that other people have provided him, it's definitely worked, because that time of a 129.98 is 4/10 faster than his best practice time lap. So I don't know if he maybe just finally all put it all together, but he's definitely doing good here today.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, Quinn Jitter up to a provisional P4. Lanu Gray currently improving, as is Alejandro Guarin. Bruce McLaren is back to the pits. I'm not sure what happened there, but he's currently sitting down in P6. Alejandro Guarin now coming through the final two corners with a slipstream. Maybe not exactly what you'd want going through the corners, but definitely down the straights.
He's going to move up to P3, I think, with that.
Unfortunately, he lost a lot of time there in the last couple corners due to I believe it's Jason Yu there right ahead of him, and of course not blocking him, because you're not allowed to overtake in qualifying. It's just really unfortunate timing for them to, you know, find each other at that point. Meanwhile, Buila is improving. Sorry, you were about to say something.
Oh yeah. No, I was kind of excited to see him jump up a couple of spots there, and then it's wild how fast, you know, a half a second can just vanish.
Yeah.
Just as Builez almost finds one. So we'll see how this...
Unfortunately, I think he just invalidated his lap going through turns 9 and 10, so while he will make an improved lap, it won't count.
So that is the give and take with turn 10. It's my favorite. It can just absolutely obliterate you, or it can be like the funnest thing you ever did. But there doesn't seem to be any in between, personally, so...
Yeah. So hopefully just give some kind of perspective on how big this hill is up here. I think it's like a 20% grade or something like that. It's absolutely insane. But it allows some of those cars who maybe can't brake quite as well as others a chance to, you know, make passes on the brakes, because you get so much help just from gravity trying to pull you back down the mountain. Yeah, I'll be interested to see if any gold drivers are able to try and fight with Daniel Builez for that time. Danny Scarborough technically has a time faster than Builez's pole time. Danny Scarborough set a time of a 128.997. And we have seen drivers improve on their fastest laps, like I was mentioning with Denis Savard. But I don't know if Danny Scarborough will be able to, you know, get it all together in qualifying. We will have to see. Yeah, Daniel Builez coming across the line here to finish out his qualifying. He will not improve, but he will stay provisional pole. There's no one really improving by that much. They would have to improve by almost 9/10. Actually, over 9/10 for every single driver if they wanted to try and get that provisional pole away from him. Alejandro Guarin is improving, or at least he was improving before he had his expat into the gravel. No. And unfortunately, that is Alejandro Guarin's qualifying done. Lanu Gray is technically improving, but that is silver qualifying done. So, Builez, provisional P1, Denis Savard, P2, Lanu Gray, P3. With Quinn Jetter, I know that Jetter's normally done better in the races than he has in the actual qualifying, so I'm assuming he'll be able to put it together before the race, or by the time we get to the race. But yeah, so now gold qualifiers coming right on out. Zipperburn Sr. leading the way in his giant red Mustang.
This giant red NASCAR.
Yeah, and for those of you who don't know, the reason why the 3 is bigger in 939, I believe, is a tribute to Dale Earnhardt Sr. but I could be wrong.
A tribute to the only NASCAR driver anybody knows.
I know a lot more NASCAR drivers than that. Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon.
Somebody has to.
John Stewart. Or not John
Yeah,
Stewart.
but nobody's driving a Jeff Gordon car or a John Stewart car, okay?
No. Travis Fletcher in D3 is driving a...
okay, he doesn't count. He's not here.
Travis Fletcher is also driving a Jimmy Johnson style 48 car. But you know, what do I know?
From that angle, it looked like something from the movie Cars.
It could be. You never know. But yeah, one of the interesting parts about this track is the track limits. I know we talked about them a little bit around the turn 8 or turn 9 and turn 10, but in a lot of these braking zones, you'll see on the outside you have the normal, you know, red and white curbs and then a purple curbing. So as long as you stay like on the red and white curbs, I believe you're almost always going to be within track limits. But depending on the car that you're using, you really do or don't want to brake with your tires on that purple curbing on the very outside as we get run over there by the Ford. So cars like the Mustang and the Ferrari and most cars actually will benefit some by braking with your outside tires on that purple curbing. But if you're in the BMW, like Joey Van Winkle is, you actually gain like 2 car lengths of braking performance if you don't brake on the curbs at all. It's something to do with how their suspension is modeled.
Interesting, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, now you do. But anyway, Zipperburn Sr. with a provisional P3 with a 130.275. Alan Leung, not even 3/10ths behind, or 300ths behind with a 130.302. Stefan Pellerin, Joey Van Winkle, and Ian Gilchrist all sitting down around P8 though. Joey Van Winkle really needs to try and find some time if he wants to get that provisional pole. Brad Morath, who I thought wasn't going to be making this race, but maybe I was wrong. Provisional P4. Danny Scarborough, provisional P3.
Yeah, maybe you're confusing him with somebody else, because I think he was here last week.
Maybe it was Brad Bertram that I'm thinking of. I'm going to look at this now.
And we got a lot of people picking up.
Oh, it was
quite
Bruce
a bit of time.
Hopkins. Bruce Hopkins.
Oh,
is
that's right.
This.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah, so.
Morath is... Well, he was gaining quite a bit of time. I mean, he's still gaining a lot more time.
And now he's invalid. Because he has spun off in the middle of, I believe, this turn 4. So I assume this is an error on power. That's a really weird error. I've not seen it like that, because it looked like he got on the power fine and then just, you know, kind of spun in the middle of the corner. That's weird. But he's coming back out for another 5 minutes of quali. And meanwhile, Alan Leung, provisional P2. Ian Gilchrist, provisional P3. Zipperburn Sr. also must have wrecked because he is provisional P4. Ah, yes, he did. So that's the curbing on the inside of that corner there that I was talking about that you can bunny hop over. Joey Van Winkle is also in the pits for some reason.
Scarborough jumps up to P3.
Very nice job there. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with Van Winkle. He just pulled off to the side, so maybe he didn't take enough fuel. So yeah, very interesting there. Yeah, Scarborough currently sitting provisional P3, already up 3/10ths.
Oh yeah.
So he definitely
keeps that up. He's going to take at least P2.
Yeah, he's definitely got a shot for provisional pole as well, but he's only 3/1000ths back from P2. So as long as he improves by, like, you know, just the tiniest bit, he should be fine for, you know, that to take away that first row position from Alan Leung.
Thought maybe we cursed him, but he's coming back.
Yeah, if we curse him, I'll pull the camera off until the end of the race, or the end of qualifying at least. Yeah, he's doing.
Tolerance, finding 2 or 3 tenths down there.
Yeah, the one person who's
Goes
not
Max
finding
Yang.
time is Van Winkle. Now, of course, he does have to go all the way back around to get a new lap in as Ian Gilchrist takes provisional P3. Yeah, Ian Gilchrist.
Max Yang just jumps up to P3.
Very nice job there with a fastest Sector 1 and Sector 3 to take provisional P3. Meanwhile, Danny Scarborough improved just that tiny bit to take away the spot from Ian Gilchrist, but he's going to have to improve a lot more if he wants to get that provisional pole.
These guys are inching their way up there, but I think Builez might have them.
It's very possible, but we're going to go ahead and watch Joey Van Winkle.
Leon, he's earning a lot of time still.
Yeah, he is. I'm not going to pop onto him until we get to until he goes through the final corner, though, because I don't want to jinx him more than I did last week, where he lost 5 tenths in a lap as soon as I talked about him. Yeah, Joey Van Winkle trying to get up there. Remember, I said he has to finish at least P6 if he wants to guarantee a win. If he were to finish P7, then anyone would have to either win the race or come in second and get, I think, fastest lap. I could be wrong on that. But if he finishes 9th, that opens it way up. You'd only have to finish 3rd. As Stefan Pellery goes to provisional P2 with a 129.6. So a lot of newcomers to that this top row here. Obviously, Builez was there last week. And Leung has been here before, but Danny Scarborough and Max Yang, not quite back markers, but definitely middle of the pack compared to where they are today here up at the very top.
I think it speaks to this track is very forgiving, I think.
That it is. Meanwhile, Joey Van Winkle coming across the line, he's going to improve by 7 tenths up to provisional P2 with a 129.26, about 3.5 tenths clear of anyone else so far. Alan Leung is trying to put up a fight, so we'll have to see how he does to finish off his lap, though. Jeremy Rand currently improving by about 4 tenths.
Yep, Leung's up 4 tenths. It'll all come down to that last turn. It seems to be the one.
Yep. Unfortunately,
if you can keep your time gain up until the second to last turn, you know, it all comes down to the last.
Yeah, unfortunately, I am going to watch him come through these final corners. He does a very nice job there. He's going to gain more time. I don't think he's going to get P1, but he will take provisional P2.
Very close.
0.06 of a second away from Daniel Builez almost taking away that provisional pole, and he has time for another lap, so he definitely can find that 0.06 to take it away.
Marath is finding some time too.
Yeah, he's now coming through the final corners.
Might scoot his way up to 5th or... Oh.
He's losing a little bit of time out of the last corner. He should improve up to about P4, I think. P4 exactly. About 3.5 tenths away from provisional pole. And now it's all down to the final laps. Joey Van Winkle coming across the line. He will have time for another lap as long as he has fuel, but I don't think he does because he's pulling off to the side. So that is Joey Van Winkle with a provisional P3. Alan Leung now going through the middle of the lap. He is currently down on time, but he can improve it. Ian Gilchrist now going through the middle sector, improving just a little bit. But I'm going to watch Alan Leung here. We're going to go on board as they go through the final 2 corners. Oh, they were improving.
Oh, he would have had it. He would have had it.
Yeah, he downshifted one too many, lost it, and invalidated his lap. So that is Alan Leung, provisional P2. Ian Gilchrist coming across the line now, going to improve by about 0.5 tenths to exactly match Danny Scarborough's time of a 129.665. And then We have one more driver coming across the line.
Jeremy Rand stuck the last turn. He's going to improve a few places.
All the way up to P9.
Yep, up to 9.
Yeah, so very nice job there. Alan Leung taking P2. Joey Van Winkle P3. Should be very fun to see their battle for the lead. But Daniel Builes, once again, with pole. So very nice job there. Now, we are going to come back in a moment to do our final grid walk of the season. But first, we're going to get a word from our sponsors.
A huge thank you to our SRA sponsors and title sponsors for supporting us here at SRA, as well as support from Documise, a modern business solution for product management. Go to documise.com to learn more today. And support from Retro Saga, a North American-based gaming company that provides accessories for your favourite classic systems, including Nintendo, Sega, PlayStation, and much more. Enhance your retro gaming experience today at retrosaga.ca. And a big thank you to our affiliates, Track Racer. Experience redefined gaming with Track Racer's high quality sim rigs and accessories. Use code SRATE at checkout to support us. Armamentario, a toolbox for ACC that will enhance your chance to win. Enjoy a fully customizable and enhanced HUD to change the way you experience ACC. AT3D Sim Shop. Upgrade your sim racing experience today with premium 3D printed accessories featuring precision crafted magnetic shifters, sleek cable management solutions, versatile stream deck mounts, and immersive dashboard displays. Their innovative designs enhance performance and style, elevate every lap with top-tier quality and craftsmanship at at3d.net. Go Setups, premium esports setups for everybody. Use our affiliate link on our Discord and take your drive to the next level. Castle and Cauldron, a home-based crafting business specialising in handmade Harry Potter, Fantastic Beasts and Fairy World collectibles. Magic wands, potions, mini dioramas, wall decor, costumery, cosplay, and much more. Castle and Cauldron is where crafting meets the magical. Visit facebook.com/Castle Cauldron. And from KP Concepts, your source for custom automotive renderings, graphic design, and printing. We spend countless hours making you look all good for the spectacle. Check out kpconcepts.com for more.
We are back to do our final grid walk of the season. Kyle, are you able to hear me? Alright, Kyle can't hear me for some reason. But we will deal with that in a moment. So, Daniel Builes, all ones for the 111 there up in front, doing an amazing job there. Take P1 only by a little bit though. Alan Leung not that far behind, 0.06 of a second. Joey Van Winkle taking P3. If he stays in this position, then he will win the gold championship, but it's going to be a fight because there's a lot of drivers behind him that want that gold championship, or just, to beat him. Brad Brath, provisional in P4, doing a very nice job there, possibly picking up the slack from his teammate, who unfortunately qualified all the way down in P10, but we'll go over that in a minute. Stefan Pellerin with a very nice job, provisional in P5. Max Yang got way up here in P6. Danny Scarborough not quite matching his practice time, but still doing good to get P7. Ian Gilchrist not quite out of the running entirely for that gold championship, but it's looking very, very tight for him. Jeremy Rand with P9, very nice job there. And then rounding out the top 10, Zipper Burns Sr. Unfortunate placement for him. He's really gonna not have a good time trying to get that provisional or that gold championship from P10, but he does have a good shot at the overall team championship. Denis Savard looking very nice here up in P11. It's going to be very hard for him to win the silver championship unless there's a lot of chaos, but he's put himself in a good position to start out with. Lanu Gray P12, Alejandro Guarin P13, Quinn Jeter P14. He only has to finish like P15, and then whoever it is that's battling him has to win essentially for that silver win. So as long as he finishes, he should be fine. Jason Yu P15, Bruce McLaren P16, Shane Sullivan P17, and Jeremy Whitwam, who I don't know if he qualified, is sitting P18 in the pits. So he will be racing today, but we'll have to see where he comes out at. But we will go back up to the front.
He did not qualify. I don't think he was not in here. I think he joined late.
All right, so at least he's here for the fun of it. So of course, everyone in the pits, you know, cheering on Builes for one reason or another. And then we also have the Elizabeth Rand cheering for Jeremy Rand, obviously. But we are lined up double file-ish. It's a little, you know, it looks a little interesting right now at the moment, but we will be lined up double file. It'll be interesting to see how this goes in the start. Kyle, do you have any predictions for how this race will go, especially on the start?
I think it is going to go boringly smooth.
All right.
Everyone is going... These guys are going to be trying to protect these wins. I think the only upsets are going to come from the people who are not in contention necessarily. So,
all right. Well, we are green off and away for SRA. Last hurrah for Season 17, Division 5. Daniel Builes gets an amazing jump. Alan Leung losing out a little bit on the start to Joey Van Winkle. But he's able to keep provisional P2. Actually, Alan Leung took P1 away from Daniel Builes. Now, he won't, I think, have the speed to keep that P1 as Builes goes up the inside now into turn 3. It's all going to be about the brakes. Alan Leung has better brakes. Daniel Builes not trying anything too dicey there into the corner. There you go.
Bump there.
There's a whole lot of people going wide at the back, but everyone seems to be going straight. Zipperburn Sr. gained 2 positions on the start there. Ian Gilchrist lost a position. Jeremy Rand lost a position. Shane Sullivan up into P11. Jeremy Rand now losing another position to Shane Sullivan. And Denny Savard going up the inside. Shane Sullivan going wide.
Rand.
No, Jeremy Rand. I'm going to quickly replay this here in Headleycam
He had
because that
slight
was
contact
absolutely
into
crazy.
the turn.
Yeah, so Jeremy Rand going wide there. Denny Savard trying to take advantage of that, accidentally shoves Jeremy Rand into Shane Sullivan. And that's just really unfortunate. And also, I believe that's
Rand's
Alejandro Guarin. But yeah, so chaos there at the front. Unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be as boring as you were wanting it to be at the start. But we are now into the thick of it. Everyone is single file here. Jeremy Rand now losing another position. You were saying something?
He's got a pit if from his driver view, his steering wheel is sideways when he's going straight.
Yeah, so Jeremy Rand hopefully pitting to get some of that damage taken out. Yes, Jeremy Rand and Alejandro Guarin are both pitting. Max Yang defending up the inside from Danny Scarborough. That's going to allow Zipperburn Sr. to make a no. Zipperburn Sr. trying to make an overtake, but did not, almost turned Danny Scarborough in that attempt. Meanwhile, out front, Daniel Builes having a not so great turn 3 run down to turn 4, lost a position to Joey Van Winkle, holding position currently from Stefan Pellerin. And then into the braking zone, Zipperburn Sr. got past Danny Scarborough. So Daniel Builes really trying to fight back here to hold on to his starting position, but it's not going quite as easy as it was last week.
Morath is duking it out with Pellerin. Trying to get around him.
Ooh, very iffy there from Daniel Builes trying to possibly go up the inside of Van Winkle, not trying anything of it though. Like you were saying, Pellerin battling with Morath. Daniel Builes not getting the best exit out of the final corner, so Stefan Pellerin is going to try it up the inside into turn 1. And he's able to get it. Brad Morath looking up the inside. Stefan Pellerin going wide. Oh my word, that was close. I thought for sure Morath and Builes were going to have contact, but Stefan Pellerin falling all the way down now to P7. Zipperburn Sr. up to P6, so he's fighting his way back up, and he might even get P5 here, as long as he doesn't hit his own teammate.
Builes seems to be driving kind of passively or conservatively.
Yeah, it could be the case. As Max Yang defends up the inside into turn 4, but that's going to allow the over-under there for Zipperburn Sr. possibly. Not able to do anything on the exit of turn 4, but still very close there to the back end of him.
So far, Zavard has a fastest lap, and he's in 10th place. What a change.
Ooh, Max Yang going wide there into turn 8. That's going to allow Zipperburn Sr. past, Daniel Buile, or Scarborough past, Stefan Pellerin past. I don't know what the issue is. Scarborough going a little bit wide there in between turn 9 and 10, but he's going to keep it straight, and now he's looking up to possibly try and overtake Stefan Pellerin here into turn 1. He's alongside. It's now all going to be down to the brakes. So they're now staying side by side. Max Yang now trying to find his way between those two drivers right ahead of him, but they both keep him blocked fairly well.
That's a good little crew keeping together there.
Yeah,
They're always in some scary stuff right now.
Yeah, very serious stuff. Meanwhile, just out front, Van Winkle and Buile is going side by side through turn 3 and now into turn 4. Buile is not trying a dive there. Max Yang, though, still trying to attack Stefan Pellerin, taking a very inside line that won't help his exit, but it will keep them mostly side by side. Stefan Pellerin taking care of that for the moment, though. He will hang on to his P7. Oh no, Max Yang! That was very close to a hit there. Still very unsettled in that car, so I'm thinking he might have a setup issue with the car. But that allows Denny Savard to get into the top 10, currently sitting P9. And right on the back end there of Ian Gilchrist.
Savard being all over Gilchrist. I never would have guessed. You could have asked me 100 times. Incredible. That is so cool.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to try anything up into turn 1, no, but he does probably have the run to try. Oh, my word!
Oh, let's go!
Oh, Denny Savard doing an amazing job there. Ian Gilchrist, unfortunately, spinning there on the exit of turn 1. I'm going to quickly try and show that on the replay. See what happened. He just lost it on turn-in. So thankfully no contact there, but really unfortunate for Ian Gilchrist. He's all the way down to P14. That is essentially his battle for the overall gold win done. Of course, if Van Winkle finishes where he's
crazy
right now,
fast. He can have a recover if his car's not damaged too much.
he definitely can, but he took a hard hit into the barriers there, so I don't know if he'll be able to.
Scared him, man. I'm telling you, I'm scared of him too.
Had been battling with Max Yang, and unfortunately, I think had an issue there on turn entry, or turn exit of turn 4. A lot of damage there on that front end, probably 10-ish seconds. And that puts him all the way back down to P10, fighting with Quinn Jetter, who currently has the fastest lap with a 130.8.
Dang, Quinn is coming up.
Yeah.
Let's go, Jetter.
Right behind Denny Savard. But so are all these drivers out front.
Shouldn't have pumped Zavard too bad. I'll go somewhere else.
Yeah, Danny Scarborough now taking the fastest lap with a 130.2. So that fuel beginning to burn off. Joey Van Winkle going to be looking up the inside possibly of Alan Leung. No. Joey Van Winkle being very passive here in his battle with Alan Leung and Daniel Builes, trying to just make sure that he finishes, because like I said, he only has to finish P6. So if he loses a couple positions, it's not the end of the world. He just wants to make sure that he finishes.
Builes' language is starting to look like he's starting to pick up a little more aggression. Here we go.
Yeah, he's now side by side there with Joey Van Winkle. He's going to take the outside.
He's getting squeezed.
He got squeezed a little bit. Now he's going to try and squeeze Van Winkle to the inside. Not enough speed, though, to hang it around on the outside of turn 7. Or 6, sorry.
That was some close racing.
It still is close racing. Only 1/10 behind. He's going to try and move now into turn 9.
Trying to get the side draft.
Yeah, so one of the main benefits of the BMW, as I've been told.
Sullivan, it was going around backwards on track. I think he just lost spun.
Oh, yeah. Lost and hardened the barriers there on the inside of that turn. Also, there's a pass between Zipperman Sr. and Brad Morath. Possibly Morath just letting... No, that was actually a move. So, yeah. Morath going a little bit deep there into turn 10. Zipperman Sr. up into P4. Now free to chase Daniel Builes. With a really close battle still out front here. It's going to be really interesting to see how this all plays out, because if Zipperman Sr., Morath, and Scarborough all manage to overtake Builes and then Van Winkle, it's still not going to matter, really, because I don't think Stefan Pellerin really has the pace right now to overtake Van Winkle, even if he's able to catch up to him.
This is why I love tracks like this, not, you know, from a commentator's perspective, but also from a racing perspective. Like this, Monza, Zolder, all your cars typically are so much closer together.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just way more exciting to watch, to be a part of. Like, I know these guys are having a blast.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially, I don't know if you remember, like, if it was the first or second year of the ground rule effect rules in F1. We had a 5-car battle going around here for at least a lap in F1, and that was a lot of fun to watch. And that's why I like this track for racing wise. You know, hot lapping, it's not anything special in my mind. It's good, but it's not, you know, amazing. But for racing, it's one of the best pure racing tracks in my opinion. Daniel Builes now looking at the back.
When you have like 12 out of 17 cars all on the same straightaway at the same time, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Builes looking at the inside, not going to attempt anything. He will force Van Winkle wide. Technically got side by side, but that's more just because of the lines there. The line into turn 3 is very weird. You almost don't want to hit the apex, especially with how weird the camber is there.
I was noticing that during practice too.
Yeah, we'll see if I can show it a little bit better at another point, but yeah, Daniel Builes trying to find his way around Joey Van Winkle. The one thing I don't know is if Van Winkle does get around Leon, is Van Winkle going to ride off into the distance the same way that we've seen Builes do, or is it still going to be a battle through the entire race? Because I know Van Winkle's fast, but he was only 8th on the practice lap leaderboard.
I think that it's kind of what I was saying in the when you asked me like who I thought was gonna win here. He seems to just have a very high rate of consistency. So I think even if he qualifies low, the fact that he seems to hit roughly the same time every time is a huge benefit.
That's a very fair point.
I don't know that he'll just walk away, but I think if he doesn't get involved in an accident or something crazy and he keeps control of his tires as they wear out, I don't really see any reason he won't just stay right there. Or if he gets in the lead, it'll be really rough for somebody to catch him.
Yeah.
Even if they're on his bumper, it's just
Yeah, the one interesting thing for Joey Van Winkle is he's a lot faster than the Porsche. You know, the BMW, it's not the fastest car, but the way that it's been described to me is it's just fast enough in the straights to not get overtaken that easily by, say, a Nissan or a Lexus or a Mustang.
Oh, yeah, just from driving it. If I come out of a corner the same with like even a Ferrari or a Porsche, I'll either definitely keep up with them or pass them on that straight. So
yeah, but yes, Van Winkle hasn't been able to pass Alan Leung. There's a part of me that thinks he doesn't want to pass Leung because he doesn't want to accidentally like hit Alan Leung or vice versa and ruin their races. So, but he also has to think Builes is right behind him. He's going to be fighting him because not that Builes doesn't care about the fight overall. It's just that he doesn't have as much to lose as Van Winkle or Leung do. Because unfortunately he is out of championship contention at this point, I think. He's like 110
Oh yeah, and
points back.
that's what I was getting at with some of these kind of wild cards getting up there. That it's kind of like Ferrari in F1, or hell, even like Verstappen last year. Like when you're out of it and you're still taking those top positions, it can really mess up somebody's overall points. You know.
Ooh. Speaking of, Buila is trying to force the issue going up the inside of Joey Van Winkle, not able to take it as deep on the brakes as I think he would like to. But he is at least trying to force the issue in a way that I don't think Van Winkle is yet on Alan Leung.
Savard and Jetter got a little scary there at turn 1. Savard got a little squirrely, and then Jetter looked like he got a little worried about hitting him, and then they both held together, but they are getting, every lap they're getting a little closer. So either Jetter's got to pass him, or they're gonna wind up in an accident, I call it right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of battles right now. You know, you were talking about that one. Van Winkle and Builes were going side by sides. Danny Scarborough just got past Zipperburn Sr. And then Sullivan and Gilchrist and Lanu Gray are all fighting this out. I'm going to quickly replay this here because I want to see what happened. I want to say that it was not quite a park on the apex, maybe. Oh.
Like 3 contacts.
Yeah, that lets Lanu Gray, though, get a double overtake up to P11. So very nice job there. Max Yang now takes the fastest lap with a 129.960. So a lot of drivers that we maybe wouldn't expect to have fastest lap is, oh no, what happened here? Zipperburn Sr. going wide. Brad Morath having a massive issue here into the turn. Morath just sending an absolute dive and a half. And then Zipperburn Sr., you know, kind of taking the brunt of it. Brad Morath now sitting all the way down in P10. Alan Leon.
Oh, was that Builes I saw just hit a wall?
I'm going to go back here because I want to see what happened here. So Van Winkle going around the outside of Alan Leon. Daniel Builes forcing the issue, making it 3 wide here into turn 3. He got to the lead, went wide, and then I think trying to rejoin. Oh, no.
Oh, man.
No.
That is not what you want to see.
Unfortunately, that sucks. And Builes RTGs.
That's going to take him all the way out.
Yeah, that's unfortunately Builes out of this race. Joey Van Winkle up into P1, but with a massive amount of damage. So now Scarborough fighting for P2. And I really don't want to place the blame solely on Builes, because that was an amazing battle they had, but that's just, unfortunately, just a pure and simple unsafe rejoin. You can't join the track back into other cars. Like, as much as he wants to get back in a place where, you know, he's fighting for the lead of that battle, you have to join in a safe manner for the other drivers, and they don't have to give you the room to rejoin when you want to. You have to make sure that you are joining in a manner that does not impede other drivers, and that just didn't happen there, unfortunately.
Have to resafe join lead.
Yeah, I think Builes will probably come back out, which is why he hasn't left yet. But
I was watching that situation. So Van Winkle was caught up in the Zipperburn Sr. accident before that. Is that what you were watching?
Yeah. Yeah, and so now Van Winkle, I don't know how much damage he has, but if I go onto the TV1, we're going to see him run over the camera here in just a little bit. And I wonder how much damage he has. It doesn't look like much front-end damage, but he has to have a lot of side damage.
From the driver's perspective, he's got a lot of steering wheel movement to keep the car going straight. So I'm not really sure if that's damage or if it's just maybe the way he drives. Some people really hack at it. So
yeah, we'll go on board here into the interior just to kind of watch what you're talking about here. Smooth so far, but turn 1 is really going to be where we see if he's actually stable or not. He's very much not stable. I don't know if you could see the wiggle he had. Not on turn exit, turn entry. And then we can see there in the booth, Danny Scarborough just hunting him down. Possibly going to make a move attempt here up into turn 3. No, he does not. But Van Winkle does go wide.
It looks like he'll get by him here. Maybe not.
Yeah, it's really weird
Well,
because
if he can weasel his way around another 5 minutes or so, then he can pit and probably reasonably keep his spotter close, you know.
yeah, I think it all depends on how much damage he has. Because if he has like 5 or 10 seconds of damage, I think he can repair that and be mostly okay if he really wants to. But at this point, if he does have to pit and repair that damage, that brings Zipperburn Sr. into the picture for a possible win.
I mean, but the damage seconds would have to knock Van Winkle down to 7th place.
Yeah, currently, assuming that everyone else had a perfect pit stop, that would put him into P7, assuming a 10-second extra pit stop to fix the damage. And that would put Zipperburn Sr. up into P2 of the race, and I think P1 overall, but I don't know. I'd have to go back and look. But yeah, unfortunately, that has really shaken up how this race was looking. Builes did come back out into this race, but he's unfortunately down in P17. Someone, I think, DC'd, but I think that was Whitwam. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah, it was. It'll be interesting to see if Savard fixes his damage. It looks like he doesn't need to. I don't know if he even knows how to not. I mean, I know there's still people this late in the season that are figuring out, like, oh, I can, avoid damage repair, but he's doing really well. He's in 7th place now, so if he decides not to repair that damage, he might pick up a couple spots from that.
Yeah. It also, I think, kind of depends on how much time he's losing, because his best lap is a 1:30.7, his last lap was a 1:31.7, and then we'll have to look and see what his lap this time round is, as Max Yang goes off there in the background, losing a position to Stefan Pellerin, but staying P6 overall, so not losing too much time. Now, I will go and point out this battle back here between Denny Savard and Quinn Jetter. It was pointed out a while ago that Quinn Jetter might make a move, but he's not been able to. Partially because
he has not been gaining time.
He's not been gaining time, so he can't. Not that he doesn't want to, it's that he just can't.
Yeah, there was a time when he was looking pretty aggressive behind him, but I'm thinking maybe tire wear's getting to them both, because I've been watching, and both of them are having little moments they weren't having before, like lots of understeer at the exit, or Jetter's had some oversteer moments. So I think they're kind of both just fighting demons right now on their own.
Yeah, not shocking. Yeah, they are still super close on track, though. Alan Leung really close to Zipperburn Sr., but trying to get straight line speed in a Porsche is almost impossible. He's going to look to the inside, now the outside, as Zipperburn Sr. takes in what I'll call an interesting line. I don't know if he meant to really move that much in the braking zone, but he did. The unfortunate part for Leung is there's not really a good place for them to overtake, because, they don't have straight line speed, and so they're really fast through this middle section here, but it's really hard to overtake through said middle section.
Yeah, and then once you get onto any of the basically 4 straightaways, it's like good luck, especially chasing that car.
Yeah, so looking back out front, Scarborough not really making a dent into Van Winkle's time. Now, Van Winkle did set a new fast lap of a 1:30.582. So while he may be unstable, that he is definitely still going a lot faster than I think he would need to be if he was realistically had a chance of losing this race. But I'm not going to say anything quite yet, as Max Yang, I think, had another off. Denny Savard, we missed it, but Quinn Jetter got past Denny Savard.
Yep, Yang lost a couple more spots.
Yeah, so Quinn Jetter up into P6. Denny Savard currently sitting P7. Lanu Gray also now just getting past Shane Sullivan, who unfortunately I think had another off into turn 1. And then Bruce McLaren now into the pits. Now, I would like to, shout out Bruce. Bruce was doing, I'm not going to say bad, but he definitely wasn't one of the faster drivers at the beginning of the season, and he was sitting up in like the top 10-ish or close to it before this pit stop, so he's doing an amazing job this race. Now, obviously, I think this racetrack is one that a lot of people drive more than other tracks, just because in pub lobbies, this is one of the tracks that gets driven a lot. Like, I know that about half the time that I do racing in online lobbies, it's here.
Oh, really? No, I guess I got to turn the track up.
Well, I really like racing here. The only issue is that every single overtaking opportunity is also a dive bomb opportunity, so...
Yeah.
It can be a little interesting at times. As Bruce McLaren has a stop-go 30, no! For speeding in the pit lane. Oh.
Sorry, Bruce, he got you.
Yeah, I will take full responsibility for that curse. That jinx. Yeah.
Well, I see they're talking about the Jetter battle in the comments. Yeah, he did finally get him. Just, of course, we weren't looking at it at the moment that it finally occurred.
Yeah, but now the interesting part is Max Yang, who had gotten behind them. There's a yellow flag for a car. 384. That's Brad Morath. It wasn't showing up for some reason. Oh, just more issues there. That's unfortunate for him. Thankfully staying out of the way of the other car coming around. Now Denny Savard getting past Quinn Jetter. Oh, that's because Quinn Jetter's going into the pits. All right. So one of the fun things about this pit box, or for this pit entry, is you have to essentially take the second to last corner super slow. Basically, you want to give the driver behind you a warning that you're going to be pitting. So they make you move over to the right side of the track a little bit earlier than you might otherwise think. And we'll see if I'm able to show that here during a race lap. I assume one of these drivers here is going to be pitting here within the next lap or two, so hopefully I'll be able to show you then. But it's very interesting to try and actually take sometimes, because you don't realize how much slower you need to go in order to actually make the corner.
Savard would be cool.
Yeah, Savard putting up a very nice defense here on Max Yang. Now Max does have a little bit of an unsettled car is what I'll call it, but he's doing a nice job to keep him behind. I would assume that Max Yang is going to be pitting here. Or maybe Denny Savard. No, they're not. Alright. Well, that shows you how much I know.
Play the long game.
But Stefan Pellerin and Zipperburn Sr. are both pitting. So Zipperburn Sr. trying to possibly perform the overcut on Scarborough and Van Winkle and Leung. Or the undercut. What did I call it? Whatever.
Be interesting to see when Van Winkle decides to.
Yeah, it will be, because he's holding his own out front. And he should be fine, but if he goes for too long, I don't know how fast he will actually be compared to the other drivers who've just pitted. I don't know how well the BMW does on tires. I know that the Ford is absolutely terrible on tires. I know that the Porsche is absolutely horrendous on tires, and I know that the Ferrari is good to decent on tires. And I have no clue on Max Yang here.
He's catching up to Savard, like in the same place every time, but that's his move, and then after that he's just got to chase him around the track the rest of the lap.
Yeah, I know that the Mercedes has issues through the middle sector here just because of how front heavy it is. And it's got the longest nose out of any car here. As Joey Van Winkle now comes into the pits. So we're going to look and see how long his pit stop is to see if he's repairing any of his damage that he has. But that does let Danny... Oh no, Scarborough! Scarborough hitting the inside wall there, trying to go through turn 1. I'm going to quickly replay this here. Oh. So yeah, just losing it on power, unfortunately. So now Alan Leung into the lead.
Savard's in the pits now, too.
Alright, so Denny Savard into the pits. So I assume that Quinn Jetter will be coming out ahead of Denny Savard, but we will see. Joey Van Winkle still not moving. And we have now reached the 30-second mark. So we'll see how much damage he has now. So I don't know if he actually fixed any damage. His stop time was 36 seconds. But crucially, he will be coming out way ahead of Zipperburn Sr. So, there's that. So Van Winkle...
Sullivan in the pits?
Shane Sullivan is in the pits, yes.
I just so happened to see him drop down a bunch of places and was like, I hope that's a pit.
Well, that would do it. Meanwhile, in the battle for the Silver Championship, Jetter and Savard have held stations, what I will call it. So no big overtakes there. Now, Danny Scarborough and Max Yang are both into the pits. Slowly interesting to see how they turn out. And then Alan Leung in provisional lead, or in the current lead. Provisional lead still goes to Van Winkle unless Alan Leung starts setting down some amazing lap times, though. I will be interested to see what Van Winkle's current lap time is compared to Leung. As Leung now comes into... No. Someone just came into the pits. Oh, Lanu Gray came into the pits, okay. But yeah, so now Alan Leung, the sole driver to not have pitted. So we'll have to see where they come out.
Looks like he's going to be our... Oh, no. Is Gray already pitted? He has not. So, Jetter's our biggest mover right now. He's up 7 positions.
Yeah, Lanu Gray is currently in the pit, so we'll have to see where they go. Alan Leung now coming around, but not pitting. So going around for another lap, which I don't necessarily agree with, but I can't really fight it. So yeah, anyway, Max Yang now out of the pits into P8. Still with the fastest overall lap, but we'll have to see if Van Winkle or Leung or someone else has something to say about that. Danny Scarborough now down all the way in 7th, unfortunately, due to his wreck that he had in turn 1, starting with Stefan Pellerin.
Jetter and Savard are up to 4th and 5th.
It's insane. And they can still gain a position depending on where Alan Leung comes out of the pits.
100%. That is awesome. Zipperberg Sr.'s up 7 positions, Jetter's up 10, and Savard is up 6.
Yeah, so
impressive drives.
All that we have to have now for a non-Van Winkle gold win is a little chaos here out front. Not that
we're hoping for it.
Yeah, I don't want to manifest it, but you know, we want to have some drama to this battle.
We had some with that Builes accident.
Yeah, we did. Yes, but looking at the team championship standings, I think they will stay the same if no one moves. Because Zipperburn Sr. and Joey Van Winkle are both right next to each other, and then Brad Morath and Shane Sullivan aren't too far away from each other, so the total points probably won't change that much, leaving top of the bell curve to possibly take the overall team championship win. as there's a yellow flag here for Ian Gilchrist. Unfortunately, here into turn 4, there's been a lot of drivers. Oh no! Ian Gilchrist had been doing a pretty good job trying to make his recovery drive happen, but that won't help at all, unfortunately. Just spinning right in front of another driver who's unable to stop. There's been a lot of drivers losing.
Helped him face the right direction.
Yeah, but I don't think he would have preferred the like 20 pirouettes in between. Yeah, Ian Gilchrist looking to come into this race and hopefully have a good shot at winning Gold Championship. Unfortunately, not going to happen. Brad Marath is now taking the fastest lap with a 129.7. So very nice job there. And then looking at Alan Leung's lap time compared to other drivers, he's honestly not doing terrible. His last lap was a 131.4 compared to Van Winkle's 131 flat. Denis Savard's 131 flat. But other drivers are definitely going a lot faster than him. Like Quinn Jetter set a 130 flat last lap. Stefan Pellerin set a 130.3 flat. And I just want to say, if Quinn Jetter finishes, Quinn Jetter's going to finish on the podium at this rate, I think. Assuming nothing crazy happens. That is
just awesome.
Yeah, we saw in the at least I saw when I was looking at the practice tables that Quinn Jetter was doing a lot better than in previous races, and I think that's just because some people do a lot more driving at this track, like I was talking about. But definitely a very shaken up top of the leaderboards, as Alan Leung is now actually in the pits for once, with a lot of damage, unfortunately, but we know what that's from.
Jetter was in that practice lobby with me, and Savard also, I think.
Yeah. So now Joey Van Winkle.
He did practice.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just he practiced a lot. That's all.
Right. So hopefully all that practice did him good. Yeah, Joey Van Winkle now into the lead with a 10-second gap to Alan Leung, as Jeremy Rand there in the background almost sends it into the barriers. Thankfully he didn't, so I won't make him watch it again here in the stream.
And that gives Jetter another place, and he has the fastest time now.
Yeah. Quinn Jetter with a 129.5. Very nice job there. Looking now to possibly take P2 away from Zipperburn Sr. And then not too far behind there, Alan Leung comes out of the pits in P4, but with a little train of Denis Savard and Stefan Pellerin not too far behind him. So we'll have to see how that all shakes out. Now I assume that Leung and Savard have both similar amounts of damage. I don't think Stefan Pellerin has any damage this race yet, though.
Man, is it too much to...
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, just kind of wishful thinking that this top, 1 through 5 kind of bunches up and gets real crazy here at the end, but...
Yeah, it's a little crazy here in the battle for P3, or P4, sorry. Stefan Pellerin was looking to possibly make an overtake move on Savard, but not able to. Savard now right on the back end there of Leung.
Oh man, Savard is getting it. This is crazy.
Yeah, especially when you've... oh, please, no. Okay, that's good enough. That was almost some contact there, so Savard falling now back into the clutches of Stefan Pellerin and Danny Scarborough. But yeah, Savard doing a lot better this race than he has in previous races. Scarborough up the inside, a little bit of wheel banging there.
Contact.
And Savard getting a much better on power than Scarborough, just due to the line that he took and the fact that he's not in a Ferrari.
They are all over him, though.
Stefan Pellerin almost rear-ending Scarborough.
That's one thing I noticed even about the practice races, that something happens when two guys are side by side right behind you, It's like they're more interested in finding the way around you and taking advantage of the situation than necessarily like keeping a safe line. So most of the accidents that we saw were something related to that.
Yeah. It's sometimes interesting looking at how cars battle with each other. Like in the upper division practice race last night, if I remember correctly, there were some cars using essentially bump drafting to get past other cars. If you were side by side with someone and someone was directly ahead of you, you got right behind them and bump drafted them so that you could continue using that acceleration. Meanwhile, Denny Savard up into P4, overtaking Leung.
Yep, that was a great overtake.
Oh, but he goes wide.
He had a better. If he can hold it together, he'll do that same thing. He has a better exit every time on turn 10, so he gets on the gas faster. If he holds it together, he'll make that pass happen eventually.
Oh no!
Okay, well.
Well, that's one way to do it. Scarborough now up into P4. Unfortunately, I don't know what happened to Leung. Leung's just stopped. I'm gonna replay this here in the helicam because it looked like Leung just kind of stopped moving there in the middle of the track. I don't know, that was weird. So we're gonna replay this here in the overhead cam. And yeah,
oh yeah, he was like not getting back on the gas.
Yeah, I don't know, that's weird. And then Jason Yu having a little bit of fun there in the background. It almost looks like Leung is, I think they're stopped on track. I almost think that they may have lost their drive. Like their wheel pedal might have broken. I know someone was talking about that in the chat, how they might be having issues with their setup.
Yeah, that was definitely weird. He definitely did not get back in the gas. So I thought it was a little bit of a bump and run, but no, I don't think it was really Savard on that. But
I don't know. Definitely weird nonetheless. I don't know how a steward would look at that, to be honest. Of course, that also depends on them reporting it, which unfortunately not many people have been reporting incidents in D5. But anywho, Savard now back in the fight for P4 with a lot more front-end damage. Still right behind Danny Scarborough. So it's going to be a fight to try and get back to that P4 that he was in for just that little bit longer.
yeah, it's a shame that he just traded the guy behind him for the guy in front of him, because he's gonna have a lot harder time catching Scarborough now.
Yep. Yeah, Quinn Jetter up here, P3, sitting right behind Zipperburn Sr. Joey Van Winkle has settled in. Even if he didn't repair any damage, like if he didn't repair any, he's done amazing, as there was a massive time delta gain. And I don't know why. It's weird. Because they went from like 13 seconds down to like 10 seconds. So I don't know. It might be that Van Winkle...
Cheaters.
Whoop. You saying cheaters or Jeters?
Cheaters. Well, was Jeter a cheater? I think he might have been.
I don't know. It's weird. The gap to the leader is not working properly, because it's going back and forth between like 15 seconds and now 7 seconds as Jetter goes around the outside trying to force Zipper and Senior into a bad line. Does not work though, unfortunately. Yeah, Stefan Pellerin also looking at the rear end there of Savard, trying to make a move into turn 4. He looked like he might have been close enough to try something, but he decided not to. As Denny Savard goes wide, they are now side by side here, going to be going into turn 6. No, Stefan Pellerin gets the move done before the turn. So Denny Savard still doing a really nice job here. He's going to be right behind them as they come now into turn 7 through turn 8, and might be able to make a move on him into turn 9. All depends on that slipstream.
Yeah, I could tell he got a little bit nervous about running into the rear, because he doesn't know when. Nobody seems to really know when someone's going to brake for that turn.
It's definitely really interesting. Is
he has really good exits on 10 though, and yeah, he can stay on him.
He's not going to make
There's
it.
Something about turn 9, even if you watch just from somebody else's cockpit view, it seems like everybody has a little bit different of a turn-in point, a break point for the turn.
Yeah, Stefan Pellerin not getting the best exit onto the straight. Denis Savard now looking up the inside into the braking zone, but he's braking too early.
Yeah, he was just nervous about taking. I'm sure.
Yeah, nothing wrong with being cautious to avoid getting taken out or taking out someone, but that has now let Max Yang into this battle. Doesn't try anything into turn 4, but he's definitely very close. There's a part of me that thinks it's just Denis Savard doesn't have the experience in battling for positions like this yet in his career, because I think this is his first, maybe second season in SRA. I know he's at least fairly new to the game, so I assume that he just doesn't have the experience battling side by side that maybe some of these other drivers do. Like Van Winkle's been fighting with drivers for the entire season.
Certainly, I think also there's a lot of stressors going on. He was ready to basically quit, with all of his previous accidents and slide outs and stuff, and now he's got I'm sure he has the heart rate going up. He's really excited that he's actually in contention for a top 5 here, and he just probably desperately does not want to run into somebody from doing a dive bomb or something, so.
And you can hear there, he does have a lot of LICO lift and coast there into braking zones, probably just giving that little bit extra. And Stefan Pellerin is not doing a very good job with his exits onto turn 10, like you were saying in turn 1. So if Savard is able to get over some of his, butterflies and get able to utilize those good exits onto these straights, I think he has a really good shot of getting back up into the top 5. Speaking of
He's
top
been
5,
very good at breaking right up onto somebody's bumper without making contact. That's been interesting to watch. He's getting a hold of that.
Yeah, now, looking out front, or close to out front anyways, Quinn Jetter still right on the rear bumper of Zipperman Sr. Scarborough now into this fight with how much Zipperman Sr. is holding up Jetter. It's a little bit reminiscent of last week, unfortunately. I'm going to hope that we don't have the same result with that battle last week that Zipperman Sr. had at the very end of the race. But it's definitely going to be very intense. Quinn Jetter still with the fastest lap of 129.5. It's just super hard to overtake the Mustang here on these tracks. Or
I also don't think that Jetter gets very aggravated by following somebody for a long time. Just from, practicing with him and talking with him. So I don't really see him getting super aggressive to get by at
Yeah, that's fair.
I would like for him to get by, if for nothing else, than somebody go put some pressure on Van Winkle in this battle that they're in. Is just not allowing them to, or they should work together, to catch him.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this all plays out, because Van Winkle is... I can't say what I want to say, but he is rolling off into the distance. And Zipperman Sr. definitely doesn't seem to have the pace to get him. I think Jetter or Scarborough might have the pace to get him, but I don't think they'd have the time to get him at this point.
Well, and as the next few minutes go on, more and more tire wear, but also less and less fuel, so...
Yeah, I'll be interested to see who sets the overall fastest lap, as Jetter goes very wide there on the apex. Scarborough now with a chance to overtake him here into turn 1. If he's able to get side by side, he's not, but he will maybe try something into the braking zone. He does. He's side by side. He's ahead on the apex. And I think that's just experience.
Yep.
Although Jetter now still right on that rear end, possibly going to try a move here into turn 3 if he's close enough. Oh, never mind then.
Yeah, he obviously he had the better exit because he was actually driving the proper line, so that makes sense. But I think you should have tried to go around the outside instead of staying inside.
Yeah, he definitely had a shot, but unfortunately it doesn't turn into anything. Overtaking into turn 3 is weird because going on the inside is normally what you would do, you know, for trying to overtake somebody, but you don't get a good exit. But also, if you go around the outside, you really have to take the corner wide compared to how you normally take it. So if you're not used to trying that line, it's very hard to get used to on the fly in the middle of the race.
Yang was looking to make a move on Savard that was very scary for a second. He thought better of it and lifted.
Yeah, he had that. He almost tried to go side by side through. Ooh, my word, that's a drift. Yeah, for whatever reason, the Mercedes likes to drift a lot through that corner.
Okay. Yang almost lost it on turn 10. I thought he
very close there. Yeah, so as of right now, this is our only battle between Scarborough, Jetter, and Zipperburn Sr. Scarborough, I think, has a really good chance to overtake Zipperburn Sr. to take P2 overall.
I think so.
Ooh.
Well, was that contact?
No, I think that was just Scarborough having some kind of connection weird thing. I could be wrong.
Zipperburn had a really bad exit out of the turn, and it looked like he just nicked him in the side.
Yeah, that he did. It definitely looked interesting. Yeah, I know that Zipperburn Sr.'s tires will probably be dying before Scarborough's, and you could kind of hear him sliding there. Or at least I hope you can hear it on the stream. In between all the engine noises. But last week, Zipperburn Sr. said that he was losing his front tires, and so that's what caused him to have issues through the corners, which would make sense. So it's very possible that here in the next few minutes, we start to see those front tires going away again. And that would probably let Scarborough and maybe even Jetter up into the overall winning positions, or the overall podium positions.
And Winkle is growing that lead.
Yeah, that he is. Oh, a little bit of wheel banging there. Scarborough gets a much better exit than Zipperburn Sr. onto the straight. It's now all going to be down to the braking zone. Scarborough much better on the brakes. Zipperburn Sr. going way deep into the corner, shoving him off. That is going to be a steward report in my mind, because Zipperburn Sr. forced Scarborough off the track. But that does allow Quinn Jetter to possibly get up into P3.
That was also a very risky rejoin. That it was the same one that Builes tried to do. It just actually worked for Zipperburn.
Yeah, he was just far enough ahead that he was able to do it. Oh, no! Zipperburn Sr. off. Stefan Pellerin also off.
You could see that coming from so far away.
Yes, Quinn Jetter probably just not with the experience needed to really try and overtake there. It's definitely possible to do if he was closer coming into that corner, but not with the way that he sent it, unfortunately. Jetter all the way now down into P6. Zipperburn Sr. currently sitting P3, but may lose another position to Stefan Pellerin and possibly even Denny Savard. And that has to not have helped Zipperburn Sr.'s tires at all. Stefan Pellerin looking at the inside there. No! Zipperburn. Oh. I'm so sorry, Zip. That sucks. Yeah, Zipperburn now all the way down into P7. After losing it there on the exit. I tried to not manifest it, but unfortunately I will take the blame for causing him to repeat the same thing in 2 laps now, or in 2 races at the end of these races.
I feel like just now, like we're not in the car and we can't hear these people's thoughts, but just from quote unquote body language, I really feel like coming towards the end of a race, I think that he has a lot of like mental stress and wear, and somewhere around here starts getting to him. And then when somebody, you know, maybe bumps into him or causes a small accident, I think it starts compounding.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me. I know that he's definitely not as young as me, because he has at least one son up in D2, maybe two, I don't remember. So he's definitely not, you know, in his earlier mid-20s anymore. So it definitely could be an issue there. Now, I don't want to say that he's a bad driver because he's old, because he's definitely not a bad driver. And it would not be because of age, but...
I didn't mean due to age. I just meant like any of us, we all have like a way.
I'm talking myself into a corner here.
I don't know how long he's been driving. I know that I get real nervous if I think that something good is going to happen for me on the racetrack. And if I have somebody following me long enough, it could definitely push me into a mental place where I start making mistakes. All it takes is one, then you make a second, you know.
Yeah. I will say I definitely backed myself into that corner, so... When the
I mean, that rejoin alone shows that at that moment he was willing to do what it took to maintain the position, similar to what we listed. That's what I mean. Whereas I probably would have lifted and let those two guys go by so that I could avoid slamming into somebody on a rejoin.
Yeah, I know that I would definitely be fighting for that win, saying that our two incidents have been. I hope that I wouldn't cause the incident that we've seen here today, but, you know. I know that I've done very similar things before in the past, so I won't put myself...
I'm also extremely cautious. I have yet to cause an incident, so, I mean, I know it's obviously going to happen.
You better bang on
eventually.
some wood.
I have a month and a half to pay for that, so.
All right. Denis Savard was looking up the inside there at Stefan Pellerin going into turn one. Decided not to attempt the overtake, though.
The amount of steering corrections and inputs he just had at the end of that turn was staggering. I do not know how he kept it alive. That was scary.
Well, if you look at the front of his car and how much damage he has, it's absolutely insane. Just for the fun of it, I will go in the inside view to watch what you're talking about.
Now watch, he'll drive graceful, but that was wild. I didn't even know you could move your steering wheel around that fast. A lot of understeer now.
Yes. Now we'll get to see the corrections coming through the technical section. Very nice shot to control the understeer there.
Yeah. He's having a lot of understeer now.
Yeah, you can see that with the steering lock that he's having put into this car. Now going through probably the hardest section of the track, we'll see how much movement he has to put into the steering wheel.
It might have just been a snap of oversteer at that first turn.
It wouldn't,
because he didn't have a problem the rest of the track, the rest of the lap.
Well, turn one is the most hard, especially if you get it only like almost right. Like that, yeah. So he is definitely having some issues, although I'd say oversteer through that corner is kind of normal. There's a brief yellow flag for, I believe, Alan Leung up into turn 3.
Savard got past Jeter while we were watching that, I guess?
Savard's been ahead of Jeter for a little bit after Jeter had that wreck with Zipperburn Sr.
Somehow I didn't notice that he was in 4th now. Okay.
Yeah, Denis Savard doing a very nice job here. Unfortunately,
Incredible.
I don't know if I'll get to interview him because we have so many interviews to get through. Because we have to interview Van Winkle.
I'll talk to him.
Yeah, we have to interview Van Winkle for winning the overall championship in gold. I assume that Zipperburn Sr. and Brad Morath will have won the overall team championship, but we will have to see, because I honestly don't know anymore with how much the zipper burn's fallen. And then Quinn Jetter will definitely have won the overall silver championship. But we might have to talk to Denny Savard anyways, just because.
What's our biggest mover situation?
That's a good question. We are right here at the end of this race. So Denny Savard moving up 7 positions. Quinn Jetter moving up 9 positions. And then Shane Sullivan moving up 5 positions. And then Danny Scarborough up in P2, moving up 5 positions. So very nice job there.
Pretty fun race. Some drama, much more than I expected there to be. But
yeah, I think you jinxed us when you said it'd be a boring race.
I don't know why I really did feel that way, but these guys pulled it out. They
yeah, it's definitely been an interesting race to talk about anyways. But we are now coming to the end of Season 17 for Division 5. Joey Van Winkle coming through the final corner now with a 16-second lead, going to go back and forth weaving as he wins the final race at Red Bull Ring and wins the overall gold championship. So very nice job there for him. I expect some celebratory donuts for him. Danny Scarborough going to come across the line in P2 overall. Very nice way to round out the season, as the same for Stefan Pellerin, P3, to round out our podium positions. Denny Savard winning the race for silver with an amazing P4 finish, especially after the issues that he's had recently. I'm sure he's ecstatic. Quinn Jetter coming across P5 to win the silver overall championship. There is Van Winkle's donuts that I was talking about. Max Yang coming across P6. Zipperburn Sr. and Brad Marath are going to come across fairly close to each other in P7 and P8. So very nice job there to round that out with, I believe, a win in the team championship, but I won't say that for certain quite yet. Lanu Gray doing an amazing job to come across in the top 10, as well as Alejandro Guarin. Ian Gilchrist going to finish in P7, P11. Jeremy Rand P12, Jason Yu P13, Bruce McLaren P14, and unfortunately, Daniel Vuilez with a P16. All right, so I'm going to quickly take a screenshot of our top 5, and maybe I'm going to pull in Van Winkle just because I know that he's the silver qualifying, or the gold championship overall winner. But we have to wait for some of them to get into the chat. Actually, no, I see Joey Van Winkle in there now, so I will go ahead and pull him up if you're ready.
Always ready.
All right. Joey, welcome to the booth.
Hello, hello.
Congratulations, you have won. Obviously, you won this race, but also that solidifies your overall gold win in the standings.
Yes.
So amazing job.
It does. Thank you.
Obviously, a very chaotic race, but go ahead and talk us through how it went.
Well, I mean, obviously it was very, very, very stressful. The first stint was extremely stressful. With Boyes up my butt the entire time, almost the entire time, and just trying to keep it clean so that I didn't completely ruin the race. And then that incident happened. I can't remember what lap that was, but I was just like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. And then the car was just sideways on me, and my very first discipline, drifting, kicked in and recovered the car and kept it going down the track.
Well, it was a very good recovery. That incident at the very front, it was a very fun battle between you and Builes and Al Leung, and then stuff happened.
That was so much fun. I knew that me and Leung would have been able to make that corner, just the two of us. Mm-hmm. But then when I saw on my radar a third car entering the mix, I was like, oh no, this isn't going to be good. My first thought was Max Verstappen and Lando Norris 2024.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a really good battle with an unfortunate rejoin. I won't call people out because That's not what we're supposed to be doing here, but
I will. That's why I'm here.
no.
I don't know if that was a rejoin. I don't think he had control over the car yet. I think it snapped back into Leung. I don't even remember how it happened. I don't know if I got tapped by Leung or I got tapped by Bolyes, or if I hit the brakes just in time for Bolyes to go across and take out Leung.
Well, unfortunately, I could tell you what the answer is, but I'm going to make you figure that out in your race replay or when you watch the stream back, because we did catch it. But we're going to move away from that. So, now,
Sure.
Obviously, you won overall gold championship. So, the main question on everyone's mind is, are you going to submit a shoey?
Absolutely. I did a shoey for D5 Silver last season.
All right. So, you heard it here first, folks. And if he doesn't, we riot.
And I got to check the points and see how it looks. But I know we were second in team standings. I don't know if I pulled enough off to get that up.
So from my very back of the hand math, I think you lost in the team standings. You beat Zipperburn Senior by enough for you to close the gap, but Brad Marath did finish the race ahead of Shane Sullivan. So I think you just lost out on it. Now, if I'm wrong, I apologize, and I'll let you, celebrate afterward. But I believe that's the case.
No, that could be right.
All right.
Even still, good battle all season. This has been so much fun.
Yep. Kyle, do you have any questions for our gold champion?
You said it was stressful in the first stint. Was there a moment in the second stint when you just kind of watched the delta and were like, brush it off, like, I got this one, boys?
Well, before I got pulled in, I was talking to Scarborough, who was right behind me when I pitted and handed him the lead. I expect within a lap or two, I expected somebody to be within a second of me, and the closest anybody got was 7.7 seconds, and I'm like, what's going on here? And then that gap just grew.
Yep.
So it was just confusion and then trepidatiously, excitement.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
All right. Well, last question that I have for you, unless, Kyle, you have anything else for him.
I don't.
All right. Last and final question of the season. Is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to?
As always, my fiance Robin for putting up with me for racing countless hours a week, and my buddy Justin for getting me into this.
All right. No shout out for your teammate?
Oh, of course. Gotta give a shout out to Shane.
Yeah.
I will say I wish you would have been a little bit more consistent so we could have had 2 shoeys to do, but, it is what it is.
Yeah. I mean, it was still a great season overall. Again, you get your championship, and even if it is just P2 in the team standings, you both did an amazing job this season. But I will send you back down to your race review. Congratulations again, and I hope you have a very stress-free off season.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Maybe if I can scroll in Discord. There we go. All right. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right. So that was Joey Van Winkle. I'm going to pull up Danny Scarborough because I want our podium sinners to get their love. So, Danny Scarborough. There we go. Danny Scarborough, welcome to the booth. Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
All right, there you go. So, congratulations on your P2 finish. You had some very crazy battles there in the second half of the race, but go ahead and talk us through how it all went.
I just stayed as close as I can and kept pressure on. And of course, these guys, they'll battle to the end. So it's a lot of fun until it's not. So I got lucky. I got outside on that very last one. And I don't know how I went around Zipperburn's nose, but man, yeah, that was a lot of fun. Those tight races were real hard.
Yeah, I can imagine. I know that if I remember, I'm going to try and remember what the quality results were, so give me a second. But you didn't qualify top 3, I know, and then you qualified P7 and then got all the way up to P2. So how was it fighting your way back up through the field?
It's a lot of fun. First season, of course, so I'm just learning all this, but trying not to hit anybody, but still get the pass is the hardest part for me, because I want to, fight them, but I don't want to get, into their back end and spin them, so I feel like I back out a lot.
Well, backing out to stop a crash is never a bad option, at least in my mind. Kyle, do you have any questions for him?
No, I don't think so. I guess just as the race progressed from the start to the finish, how would you say, did you keep like an even level of stress? Did you find moments more or less when you were battling, or did you just know it was going well pretty much overall?
No, the first battles to get to the front were, very stressful, because first start of the race, and then it calmed down, and then after pits, I caught up to that other pack, and that I've been sweating since.
Very understandable.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, Kyle, unless you have any other questions for him, I will go ahead and ask him our final question of the night. All right. So, Danny, is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to, like a teammate or someone who's watching in the chat for you?
I didn't do my teammate last time. I'm going to hit my teammate this time, and my wife and daughter, of course, but for sure the teammate. He didn't get to make it the last few races. He had to work, but hopefully we'll get to do it again next season.
All right. Well, congratulations on your P2 finish to round out the season. I hope you have a very fun and stress-free off-season, but I will go ahead and send you back down to your race review.
Thank you. Yep. And we'll see y'all soon.
All right.
Go, man.
So that was Danny Scarborough, our P2 finisher. I see Stefan Pellerin, so I will pull him up to do our P3 interview. If I can scroll properly. Discord just does wonderful things. Stefan Pellerin, welcome to the booth. Can you hear us?
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly fine. So congratulations on your P3 finish here to round off the season. I know that if I'm remembering correctly, it's been, not a whole bunch of top 3 finishes this season. So how does it feel to round out up near the top?
It feels pretty good. I wasn't like the fastest guy out there, but I just wanted to stay out of trouble, which I think I did for the most part. I ran into Brad Morath there once, but he had spun out in turn 1 and was kind of sideways in the track, and I had nowhere to go, and so I feel bad for him. Yeah, but other than that, I pretty much stayed out of trouble and just was kind of surprised at the end there. I was in 5th, and I figured that's where I was going to end up, but the 2 guys in front of me started scrapping, and sure enough, I got by them. They kind of took each other out, and I just got by them. So yeah.
Yeah. So I know that for a while you were battling with Denis Savard there for what was P5 and eventually turned into the last podium spot.
Yeah.
I know that he was doing a very nice job on turn exits, like turn 10 onto the main pit straight. How did you defend against him with that?
Well, he was better on the brakes, and he kind of accelerated a little better out of corners. So what I basically had to do was kind of put my car on the apex and carry as much speed as I could, through the corner, just to try to hold him off until I got to the next corner. So luckily, there were, some corners I went through pretty quickly, and I got a little bit of a gap on him, and he just couldn't seem to close it. But yeah, he was definitely better under braking than my car. So
all right.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle, you have any questions for Stefan Pellerin?
No, man. It seemed like
just to clear up, it's Steven.
I remember you saying that last week.
Yeah.
Steven Pellerin.
Yeah. It's
I'm so
Stephen
sorry.
Colbert. Same thing. Yeah.
My apologies.
Oh, no problems.
All right, Stefan. I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful or anything. We're kind of trying to keep up with a lot of stuff, but
no problem.
I kind of also felt like you just kind of came out of nowhere. You were just kind of moseying your way up through the pack the whole time, very quietly, and then you're here. So when you said that that's kind of how it felt to you too, it was like, okay, cool, we're all on the same page. You know?
Yeah. No, like I said, I just wanted to have kind of a good, clean race, consistent race, stay out of trouble, stay on the track, and usually when you do that, you usually get a good result. Is what I find. So, especially in like, you know, D4, D5, if you can just stay out of trouble, you'll have a half decent result. That's what I tried to do.
All right. So last question for you, Steven.
Yep.
Is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to, whether it be a teammate or someone watching in the chat?
I don't think there was anybody watching me in the chat, but I'd just like again to say seemed like my arch nemesis this year was Brad Morath, and sorry I kind of banged into him again, but maybe next season we'll do a little better.
All right. Well, this is Steven Pellerin, our P3 finisher. You know, gotta make sure I try and remember it for next season. But anyway, again, great race, great P3 finish, and I hope you have an amazing stress-free off season.
Well, thanks. See you next season, guys.
Yep. See you later.
And appreciate what you guys do throughout the season, doing the commentary. I usually watch the race on YouTube there the next day, and I really enjoy it. So
I apologize. I will be saying in the stream you're the wrong name the entire time. I need to put it on a postcard somewhere on my screen for this. But anyway, amazing job, and I will go and send you back down to your race review.
Right on. Thanks.
All right, and then last but not least is Quinn Jetter. We will go and pull him up to interview him for the Silver Championship. Quinn, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So, congratulations. I believe, well, you only finished one position behind Denny, so congratulations. Unless I've done something horribly wrong in my math, you have won the Silver Championship.
Oh, very nice.
So, congratulations on that. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Obviously, your race today was very chaotic, for better or worse, but go ahead and talk us through how it went.
So lap 1, I kind of, on turn 2, I just took too much grass and spun myself out. Was able to maintain basically clean and consistent laps from then all the way up until I tried to overtake Zipper Burn in a dumb push. However, I did talk to him. I apologize. He seemed pretty cool about it, but I still can't believe I did that to him. But no, all in all, it was a fun race. A fun group of guys to race with. Yeah, it was nice being out there.
Yeah, it was very fun to watch you. You've not been up in the top of the leaderboards for most of the season, at least as far as I remember. So seeing you battle for second place and then ultimately finish P5 was an amazing thing to see. A lot of people, not exactly where we expected them to be this race.
Yeah, I mean, luckily for me, very unlucky for Bules. I don't know what happened. I'll be rewatching the race, but for him running the times he was running all week, and then for a wreck to happen for him, that is so unfortunate. But I really was trying to catch his times. But he's running D3 times. I was trying to catch that. That was crazy.
Technically, his best time in the practice leaderboard was a D2 time. But either way, yeah, he was absolutely super fast this time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Kyle, do you have any questions for Quinn here?
No, I don't think so, man. You already know how I feel. That was super exciting. I was rooting for you pretty hard, and you might have had a little mistake, but you had a good recovery, and it sounds like you were pretty happy with it too. So
absolutely.
All right. Well, I will send you back down to your race review in just a moment, but I have one more question. Is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to?
Well, first and foremost, Chris Reaper and D4, getting me into this. I appreciate you. Looking forward to racing with you next season, hopefully. And also you and Kyle. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to come out here and, do the booth for us and wait after to do some interviews and make it something special for all of us. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we have a lot of fun
dude,
doing
it's
this.
fun.
It's very fun. But yeah. All right, so this was Quinn Jetter, our silver overall champion. I'm sorry, I do have one more question for you. Are you going to be submitting a shoey?
Oh, I mean, I get to do that?
Yeah.
I thought it was more like a team thing. Yeah, I'll be submitting one then.
Perfect.
Absolutely.
All right. Yeah, that's for gold championship, team championship, and silver championship. So you meet one of those criteria, so you get to do one.
All right. Woohoo.
All right. Well, anyway, congratulations. I hope you have a very fun, stress-free off-season, but I will go and send you back down to your race review.
All right. You guys have a great night.
Take it easy, brother.
All right.
All right. Oh, did I not send you back down properly? Oh, there he goes. Anyway, so I apologize. I forgot one review or one interview as the team's championship. Unfortunately, I don't see Brad Marath in here, but I will pull up Zipperburn Sr. to do the team's championship. Dick Zipperburn Sr., welcome to the booth.
Hey, it's me.
All right, so I am mostly confident that you won the team championship. Technically, I think it was like really close on points, but it's not updated. Oh, it just updated. You won by 43 points. All right, so congratulations. You and Brad Marath have won the team championship. Last time I tried to do this, I pulled in the wrong team. So that's why I was a little... I was trying to wait to do this till the end. But either way, congratulations. Obviously,
Thanks, man.
Your race today was a little unfortunate with some of the incidents that happened. But go ahead and talk us through your race, your season, whatever you want to talk about.
Well, yeah, a little trouble on the finish there in the at the end of this race. I just was watching the replays and I thought I got nudged when I spun in coming out of turn one, the typical way everybody does. But he was a good 1.5 feet back off of me, so I guess I just lost the rear end. So all that anger and drywall repair coming up is was not needed. No, I wasn't even really mad, but I did think I did say, oh shit, there goes the podium, which it was Pellerin who was behind me and he got a podium, so congrats to him. Yeah, and then after that had a little contact with before that. Anyways, also adding to that was had a little contact there with Mr. Jetter, who already is. Let me know we're all cool. Everything's good. He apologized. It's all happens, right? So what am I going to say, that I've never done it? No. So, but yeah, this is the first time I finished a whole season actually too. So that probably doesn't hurt, in the points wise and all that. Well, I guess as long as I can remember, I've won. Well, as long as I can remember, since breakfast, I've won 3 things out of life, and that's an SRA team championship, and to become the grandmaster and ruler of all time, space, and dimension, and then I want to meet Kim Kardashian. So 2 more boxes to tick, but we got time.
Yeah, a little bit more time at least. Yeah. So, well.
Hope so.
I don't know your progress towards those other 2 goals, but you have at least completed 1, so congratulations on that.
When I get close to number 2, you'll know.
It'll definitely be interesting to read the news reports of that. But anyway,
if you get number 2, you'll definitely have number 3. So.
Yeah, exactly.
That is true. But yeah, so anywho, obviously you've been fairly consistent for most of the season. You've had your incidents here and there. I don't want to say that you repeated your incident today that you had at Kailami, but it's most of your races have been kind of similar. So
that's what it was the exact same thing, but going the other way.
Yeah,
right,
I will say that you weren't the only person caught out at turn 1, as I'm sure you may have noticed. But
yeah.
So either way, really nice job there. Congratulations.
Yeah. So overall, real happy. Still looking for a podium, of course. Hopefully I'll get back here again next season when it comes up. So have a shot at one of them. I don't know about a full season. That was kind of a fluke for me to be able to do them all. But thank Brad for the team championship. Good stuff out there today. and through the whole season, even though we missed the one race or one, maybe 2 races, whatever, with Brad.
Mm-hmm.
Still stayed, same as me, kind of stayed in the hunt, right? So that helps. And what else? OBDA, mom and dad, who are long gone, but mom and dad. Junior, big time, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And Junior, actually, that's one thing I should mention too. This year, like being a little older, I really hate when people bring that up, actually, but I do it myself all the freaking time. But I'm not expecting my talent to get any better for sure. I feel it dropping off even in the time I've been with SRA. But Junior is all over me all the time, and he pointed out something that a little bit just set up in the with the force feedback.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to spare my shoulder and drop the gain so far that I wasn't getting, feedback in certain parts of the track. So I think race 2 or so, we cranked it back up a little bit, and made a world of difference.
There you go.
So there's something to be said for that kind of proper tuning, and for having a kid that can help you out with something 30 something years later.
Yeah, I know it's been fun battling Zip Jr. up in D2, so I can only imagine having him in the house to race against, like, essentially any time. That'd be
It's a good thing we only got one rig.
that would help probably, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Oh, Kyle,
what's going to happen when you're both in the same division?
Well, we've been fortunate there too. Maybe with a little help. Since I started with this league, that we haven't been on conflicting nights. So another shout out to the SRA for that. I was a little worried actually this year when, but we lost Division 6, kind of luckily, I guess. Right? I would have thought I was more a candidate for shooting for the silver championship here than the gold, but how it works out different, and guys get better over the seasons too. That's the other problem with being in the lowest division. I'm kind of staying where I am, and I get to see all these young guys coming in, and next year they've moved on. So
yeah.
Well, I'll be down here with you for a while. So
right, get back in here, Kyle.
Yeah.
I did have one question for you. If
sure.
I was just kind of speculating the last couple of races just from watching you, but do you feel like the later the race gets in and the better your position is, that you get like tense or I don't know, not necessarily anxiety or something, and when faults happen they kind of cascade into further faults, or do you feel like you keep it pretty level-headed the whole time?
Not exactly that, but there definitely is a problem, and the problem is, I bet it's got some great name that I missed in Psych 101, but the problem is I start a little bit, my mind wanders, and I start celebrating, thinking, I can't wait till Christmas when I see these guys, and I tell them about my big race win and my podium and whatever, and hey, I'm probably going to get interviewed, and I can't wait, for all the pats on the back at work tomorrow or whatever, right? And you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. start that stuff a little bit, and then, as you all know, all it takes is 1 split second.
Yep.
Right? Where I pop a look at my HUD when I shouldn't, and all over.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, it's been super fun watching you race. I know that when I started doing SRA, I was probably racing you for at least a couple of races. I don't know how long you've been racing here, but it's fun still seeing some guys, race for a long time that you've either been watching racing or whatnot. So it's amazing to see you win the championship. So again, congratulations. We've already done a couple shout outs for people, but is there anyone else that you'd like to give a shout out to?
All the whole Zipperburn family. OBDA, Dale Senior for life, Anton, Brad for sure.
All right. Yeah. Well, last question I have. I know I said last was the last question, but do you plan to submit a shoey with Brad for the livery reveal stream for next season?
I don't know about with Brad. I think we live probably 3,000 miles away from each other, but yeah, I'll do a shoey.
Perfect. All right, we've gone 3 for 3 of those we've asked. I'm going to hold you to keeping Brad to make sure that he does one, though.
Okay, I'll try.
All right, it's been great watching you race this season. Hopefully we will get to see you again here in the booth next season at some point, but until then, have an amazing off season, and we will talk to you later.
Thanks, and thanks to everybody for everybody who's ever given me a kind word or whatever all year too. Appreciate it. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Have a good one.
I don't know if I'm supposed to send you back down to a race review since there isn't one, but I can move you back down there anyways. So
I'll just check out.
All right, see ya.
Thanks.
Well, there we go. He is left. So anywho, this has been an amazing Division 5 season. I know that sometimes in Division 5 we have it where a couple drivers get really good after a certain set of seasons. Not that I want to say, or set of races. I don't think it's sandbagging, but if we look at our season calendar here, especially with some of the races that we've had for like some of the drivers who got moved out of the division, of drivers just kind of walking away with it. But we didn't have that here, and that was really great to see. You know, we had a 4-way battle, technically like a 7 or 8-way battle, like theoretically anyways, going into the last race, and that was for both team championship, that was for gold, that was for silver. It was really fun to watch because everything had stakes, and I want to say good job to the admins for, you know, balancing it out very well, but also a great job to all these racers. You know, D5 isn't always the best place to race because sometimes, you know, you've got less experience, but it's been an amazing thing to watch all season. Kyle, I know you haven't been here the whole season, but do you have any closing thoughts on the season?
No, it was super fun for a first season from both the driver and the commentator's perspective. So I look forward to the next one, and me and the homie are gonna get practicing every week and see what comes next.
All right. Well, unfortunately, you're going in and out there. I assume you're moving around the room, but anywho, it was really fun to you know, join you in the booth here. Sean, who had to help out in D3 today, it's been really fun. It was really fun in the booth with him, and it's been really fun with all of the drivers and all the people watching in the chat. We had a huge cohort of people cheering for Builes early on that I think kind of petered out once he had his accident, unfortunately, but you know, we love to see the people cheering on in the comments for whoever they might be supporting.
Oh yeah, and I even had some people in the chat that were, you know, rooting for other drivers too. So everybody's very cool, and
yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah. Anyway, that is a wrap on Division 5 for Season 17 with all of our various winners. Van Winkle for gold, Jetter for silver, and then Marath and Zipperburn Sr. for the team championship. If you would like to watch more fun racing, come back down to the wire. Tomorrow, Division 2 and 4 will be racing. You can also watch Divisions 1 and 3 on YouTube. You can go back and watch those, or watch any of the races. It's been a really fun season. But yeah, so signing off till Season 18, which should be a whole lot of fun. I don't know when it is. I think like April. I could be wrong though. But anyway, my name is Trey. I've been joined by Kyle in the booth here tonight. It's been a blast having you, and we will see you all next season.
Bye.
When I was just a new driver, I asked Coach Jeffries, what will I be? Will I be speedy? Will I crash out? Here's what he said.